Welcome to today's Foundation Friday. I am joined by the Beyond Blindness team, Carol, Kevin, and then Jamie Haver from Happy Manufacturing. I don't know why I always call you Jamie Harver, so I apologize for that. It just
rolls off the tongue that way.
Well, no, but I don't think you've ever really corrected me, even though it says it right there. There's no R in front of your name. But, appreciate you all joining me today. This segment of Foundation Fridays is sponsored by Dedicated. Thank you, Sean and Mike. So real quick, just let's talk Beyond Blindness. So I guess before we do that, Carol, Kevin, Jamie, just introduce yourselves if you don't mind.
Okay, sure. My name is Carol Trapani, and I'm currently the board chair of Beyond Blindness. Honored to be so. I have a daughter who was born blind, visually impaired, and has had the benefit of all of the wonderful support and services of the organization.
I'm Jamie Haver, not Harvard, and I'm a parent of a child, Jack, who also went to Blind Children's Learning Center. I'm a past board member and walk founder and fundraiser.
And I am Kevin Furman. I'm the Director of Fund Development at Beyond Blindness. I've had the pleasure of serving this organization for 7 years and have had the opportunity to see, some incredible impact and results from our kids growing up that I've known since I started there, as well as how we operate as an organization and how far we've come to advance our mission. Glad to be here.
Thank you all for joining me today. So Carol, I'm going to start off with you if you don't mind. Sure. What is the mission of Beyond Blindness?
Well, the mission is really for early intervention with children. My daughter was diagnosed blind at birth, and so she was able to start her journey of care through the organization really at about a month of age with infant STEM and all sorts of assistance to really help her with the vision she did have, and also other services as well. Also education, which is important. My daughter transitioned into public school, and with the support of Braille, orientation, and mobility, she was able to graduate at Corona Del Mar High School and continue on. And then a big part of our organization is family support. This is something that we are really taking to heart to help the families without just the basic needs, but also supporting each other, being part of the community. And really, you can see the effects of the organization firsthand.
Excellent. Thank you. And Jamie, how did you get involved?
So our son, Jack, was born premature. And one of the common things of prematurity when Jack was born was visual impairment, so retinopathy of prematurity, and he was the lucky recipient of that. But the great thing was he survived, right? When Jack was almost 3, we started going to Blind Children's Learning Center, and before that, Jesse, we're in Orange County, right? So we were able to go to amazing therapists throughout, Orange County and LA County. And Jack wasn't thriving. He wasn't talking. He was barely eating. And when somebody said, you should probably go check out Blind Children's Learning Center, we were kind of apprehensive because we had never heard of it before. And it was like 4 miles from our house. We started going, and I'm not kidding. It was December 2002. In January, he said his first word. Oh, wow. And started eating. And so we started going because of need, but we didn't know about it because we just didn't have a need to know, right? And once he started making incredible gains, I'm like, what can I do to show my gratitude? So I joined the board, and it was really soon after I joined the board that I realized, oh, nonprofit means we need to raise money, and nobody ever asked me for a dime when we were receiving services. So I found out that they felt guilty asking parents for donations because they already felt bad that they were working with kids that were visually impaired or blind or had different needs. So I started fundraising, and that was my way to show my gratitude. Jack's 21 now, and through the intervention education and mentoring programs, he's thriving, and he's able to self-advocate, and he'll probably be a litigant attorney because he likes to argue and talk and question everything. But really, so I'm involved. I've stayed involved just because they changed our life, and they changed his life. You know, the hospital kept him alive, and then Blind Children's just saved his life. Or Beyond Blindness. Sorry, Beyond Blindness is a new name for me.
Still fresh.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Jamie. And Kevin, obviously one of the reasons we're doing this too is to help drive additional awareness to blind children, beyond blindness. Sorry, now you have me saying it, Jamie, but it's okay. So when people make donations today, where do those dollars go?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll start with the heart and then the business. How about that? Ultimately, what any philanthropic support goes to, including sponsorship dollars, is supporting a changing dynamic of care. There's a reason Jamie and her son came to us when we were Blind Children's Learning Center, and we are Beyond Blindness today. The needs of children are far more complicated today, and that requires more robust and comprehensive services than ever before, as well as the family support that Carol mentioned. These families come to us at a point of confusion, sometimes hopelessness, sometimes sadness. And we need to be there to ensure that this family is whole by providing counseling, support systems, robust community so that they're not isolated, because these parents neglect their physical, mental, financial health. They're stressed, they're burnt out, they're going through a lot. Our success is in the entire family. So we start with them with a heavy investment in that early intervention, and we sustain that throughout their growth, as Carol was referring to. Because that journey of care, that deeply integrated journey of care, where both the child and the family participate and can come to us at different points in their journey and know that we're always going to be the hub of their care, whether it's providing the direct services we do, which are quite comprehensive, spanning from physical therapy to Braille training to cane training to life skills, all the way to making sure that they can access other services in the community and navigate the complicated, systems of care in medicine and education that they have to quickly become experts in to ensure that their child receives the support that they deserve to meet their fullest potential. And that's our ultimate vision, that regardless of ability, these children have the opportunity to reach their fullest potential. So from a business perspective, that means we have to fill the gap. We have really strong funding relationships and contract relationships with both the Regional Center of Orange County, as well as the Orange County Department of Education, and a growing network of insurance providers. However, that does not cover the full cost of serving our children. In fact, it only covers between 40 and 45% of what we do. So to achieve our annual operating budget of a little over $3 million, that means we're raising over $1.5 million a year to sustain our mission and grow it. Since I started at the organization 7 years ago, we've gone from serving about 220 children to over 300 families during this last year, which was a record for us. And considering that was during a pandemic, we're very proud of that. So sponsorship dollars help us accelerate that growth and expand the type of opportunities we can provide, because there's so much great that we're doing for these kids in things like education, but there's so much more we can do. Carol and I are working on launching a new technology lab, figuring out how to bring back teen support groups and tutoring programs. So we're in a period of growth and expansion, and operating as Beyond Blindness allows us to be more expansive and more aspirational to those that we serve. So to provide a family the robust early intervention they need during the scariest first year of their journey of care, we have to raise about $7,500 per family to bring them through that journey. And the sticker shock of that might surprise people at first, but when you really think about how in depth we get with the really therapeutic services, access to technology, learning in a classroom environment, there's a lot that goes into it that we have to raise funds for. And that's just the early intervention. Every program costs a different amount to operate, but I just want to give you a sense of scale. There are numerous ways for sponsors to be engaged with our organization. We will always accept a donation and put it to wonderful use. We have a 4-star Charity Navigator rating and a Platinum Seal of Transparency from GuideStar for transparency and financial stewardship. But we also have wonderful special events. Next week, we're going to have our Fall Golf Classic. We have our 60th anniversary gala coming up in February. And as Jamie mentioned earlier, the walk that she started is going into its 18th year, and it's scheduled for June 4th, 2022. So we do have sponsorship opportunities, and we welcome you to contact us to learn more, so that you can gain some visibility in this community and, you know, like Jamie mentioned and Carol mentioned, change lives, because that's what we're here to do at the end of the day.
Yes.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah. And Jamie, obviously, besides equipment finance companies sponsoring these events, what else can the equipment finance industry do to help support Beyond Blindness?
You know, I think knowing that the organization exists, because everybody knows someone who's been affected by either prematurity, not just prematurity, actually any kind of different ability that a child has. In Orange County, we're not amazing about promoting all of the nonprofits because there's so many. So I think knowing that we exist, being on the lookout for Team Jack Haver for the next walk, you know, they can support us there. So I'll be better about promoting that. But really raising awareness. I think that we're a 60-year-old organization, and because there's, I think, over 250 nonprofits in Orange County, there's probably a lot more than that actually, but knowing that we're here and being a resource to friends is super important. You don't have to be local to be able to reach out and talk to another parent or family that's been there, done that, that can give you support.
Yeah.
And do you guys welcome volunteers to come to the school? Okay.
Yes, we really enjoy working with volunteers. They're critical to our day-to-day operations, and for anybody who's watching this, whether they own a business or employed at a business, we welcome groups to come have volunteer days with us. That's something we've proudly carried on for many years, and we're excited that we have some in-person opportunities again, but we even have virtual opportunities and have had a lot of fun working with various businesses in the community, both near and afar. We've worked with volunteers from the Netherlands, you know, during this last year and a half. So I think that's pretty exciting. So, you know, please let us know if you'd like to get involved in that capacity.
Excellent. I know that Brooke and I are going to be out there for our next event. We're going to be coming a day early just so we can come and spend some time in the afternoon with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else before we wrap up today? I really appreciate everyone's time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for including us. This is fantastic, and that visibility is so important. We've been the best kept secret for many years, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't parrot what our executive director, Angie Rowe, would want to always say, which is that we are not the best kept secret. We are known, we are out there, and we are trying to reach new families and supporters who can drive our mission.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for your time. And I look forward to seeing you in, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. But
Perfect.
thanks again. We'll talk soon.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jesse.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.
Bye.